You can ruin your songs if you do not arrange them properly. You can come up with the most beautiful chord progression with the catchiest hooks and the most thought-provoking lyrics ever, but if you don't put them together in an engaging way, then no one's going to listen to them. I want to give you a few essential song structures, and at the end I want to go through something that you should really take into consideration, something that I think is really important and something I don't think people are talking about very much. Songs are made up of sections, and the most basic sections that you're probably already aware of are the verses and the choruses. So this brings us on to our first structure, which is the A-B-A-B structure. It typically just goes back and forth from verse to chorus. So if you think of songs like Big Yellow Taxi by Joni Mitchell, Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan. This structure is so simple and it's still commonly used to this day because it works. There's another classic structure that you should know that just uses two sections as well, and this is the AABA structure, which is sometimes known as the 32-bar form. It was commonly used in Tin Pan Alley songs in the first half of the 20th century. Songs like Over the Rainbow use it, and I've Got Rhythm. And lots of show tunes that have since become jazz standards use it. Now this structure isn't as common these days, but if you are looking to make something with an old-timey feel to it, then this is a really useful song structure to know about. A song structure is how you arrange your song, so it's how you organise the sections that are in your song. There are loads of sections you can add to your songs. You can have pre-choruses, bridges, intros, outros, solos, and so on. But you should always keep in mind what your song needs. You might find that you have a really good A-B-A-B structure and the song is really good, but it feels like it's missing something, like it's losing people's attention towards the end of the song. If this is the case, then you might want to add a C section. So the structure would be A-B-A-B-C-B. Now this is also really common, and you essentially are just adding a short bridge section, which is usually about 8 bars, which is why it's also called a middle 8, which just adds a bit of contrast before going into the climax of the final chorus. So if you think of songs like High and Dry by Radiohead and What's Love Got to Do with It by Tina Turner, your song's structure is important because it's the supportive framework that keeps everything together. Now, there's no right or wrong way of structuring a song, but the structure is how you keep your listeners engaged. Without structure, your song can sound incoherent and chaotic. If the listener can't follow along, then they're probably just going to get lost. And if they get lost, they're just going to stop listening. But you might also feel like your song is missing something that separates the verses from the choruses. And if this is the case, then you might want to consider adding a pre-chorus. Think of songs like Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis, or Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. These songs have pre-choruses that build the tension up and get the energy rising from the verse to lead us into the chorus section. So a common structure with a pre-chorus in it is verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, chorus. Song structure is the framework that keeps everything together, but it's not a set of rules. It's not something that you just have to follow. It's a fundamental that we have to consider when we're writing songs. I mean, if you think about basic story structure that we're taught as children, we're told a story has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. This isn't a rule, it's a fundamental principle that we learn so we know how story works. We all know people that tell stories that just don't seem to go anywhere at all and have too many unnecessary details. A good storyteller structures their story to tell good stories, and a good songwriter uses song structure to write good songs. All of these structures that I've told you about are simple, they're tried and tested, and they are essential structures that you should really know about when you start writing songs. We know that they work, we know that they engage the listeners. But you might be thinking, well, you don't want to follow these structures. Well, you don't have to follow these structures. There are lots of examples of songs that break all of the songwriting traditions, but even these songs are structured to be engaging. I mean, think of Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. And Happiness is a Warm Gun by the Beatles. These songs, they don't follow any of the normal traditions, but they seem to make sense. They're structured in an engaging way. And the last thing I want to discuss is something that I really think is important to discuss, and it's something that I don't think people are talking about much, and that is that song structures change, and you should keep up to date with what is working in your particular genre of music that you make. In 1972, Elton John released the song Tiny Dancer. Now that song didn't have a chorus for 2.5 minutes, and it was the same in Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer in 1986. The chorus doesn't come in for 1.5 minutes. But nowadays in pop music, songs are getting to the chorus as fast as possible. A lot of modern pop songs actually start with the chorus these days, and this is because songwriters know that they have a limited amount of time to hook the listener in. This isn't something completely new. A lot of classic songs would start with the chorus as well. I mean, think of Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers and I've Had the Time of My Life by Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes from the Dirty Dancing film. So the final structure I want to give you is the typical A-B-A-B structure, but this time starting with the chorus. So that's B-A-B-A-B. So if you do write pop music and you've been struggling to get the kids listening, this might be something worth giving a try. So thanks very much for watching this video, guys. I hope you got something out of it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.